The art history program at the University of Guelph offers students an opportunity to study art and architecture as manifestations of historical documentation. Art history students learn to appreciate the fundamental and varied roles the visual arts play in the lives of human beings as they become familiar with major works in the Western and non-Western traditions. Students of art history learn how works of art embody but also condition and control cultural, economic, social, religious, political, racial, and gender dynamics. The art history program covers historical perspectives on the visual arts, the study of methodologies of art history and critical theory, and considers contemporary issues in the practice and display of art. In this regard, the department encourages broad, interdisciplinary exploration of artistic, aesthetic, and visual traditions in their social, historical, and cross-cultural contexts. Furthermore, we respond to the vision of a learner-centered university by engaging in innovative teaching and providing students with opportunities to travel to museums, galleries, and sites and discuss their work in a supportive and challenging environment. One such opportunity offered by the School of Fine Art and Music is the Art History Speaker Series. This series invites art historians, curators, and art professionals engaged in innovative research, programming, and conservation to the University of Guelph to deliver lectures over the fall and winter terms. Hosted by the Art Gallery of Guelph, these evenings are some of the most anticipated events of the year and welcome students and faculty of the College of Arts and the wider university community as well as the general public. Over the years, this series has reflected the breadth and depth of art historical inquiry. Among the featured speakers involved are the renowned American art historiographer and theorist Michael Ann Hawley, known for her position as the Star Director Emeritus of the Research and Academic Program at the Clark Art Institute, who discussed silence, solace, and study in art history. The winner of the Council for Museum Anthropology's Lifetime Achievement and Distinguished Service Award, Dr. Ruth Phillips, presented on the display and dispossession of First Nations and their visual culture in 19th century Ontario. A presentation related to the culmination of her latest books titled Museum Pieces Exhibiting Native Art in Canadian Museums and Transmission and Translation, Visuality and Art in the Great Lakes. Dr. William Knoll, Director of the Kislak Center for Special Collections, Rare Books and Manuscripts, and the Director of the Schoenberg Institute for Manuscript Studies at the University of Pennsylvania, presented work on the Archimedes Palimpsest, a 13th century prayer book containing erased text written several centuries earlier that include two treatises by the ancient Greek mathematician, physicist, engineer, inventor, and astronomer Archimedes that can be found nowhere else. In collaboration with the Arts, Science, and Technology Research Alliance, the University of Guelph, the series presented John O'Nyans, Professor Emeritus of World Art at the University of East Anglia, and founding editor of the journal Art History, who delivered a lecture on neuroart history, a methodological approach to the history of art, which aims to answer the age-old question of why art is a universal activity. In incorporating the tools of the neuroscientist, art history can begin to track what drives artists to create in the ways they do. In 2013, University of Exeter lecturer and frequent television and radio contributor Dr. Matt Lauder shared his research on the history of tattooing and demonstrated the modern preoccupations with the body as both a reflection of and support for art and visual culture. Other scholars such as Ronald Hawker, a former professor in the School of Critical and Creative Studies at the Alberta College of Art and Design and author of Tales of Ghosts, First Nations Art in British Columbia 1922 to 1961, discussed his latest research on the art and times of Charlie James, a First Nation carver and painter known for his activism during a period of severe oppression for Canadian First Nations people. Dr. Maria Chetnik, an assistant professor of English at York University, who is currently working on Signs of Autumn, the Aesthetics of Saturation, which focuses on the notion of saturation and its implications for the relation of contemporary aesthetics to political economy, came to Guelph to discuss her research on this subject. Renowned art historians from around the world are invited to the University of Guelph to be part of this speaker series and show those within the Guelph community just what is possible in the study of art history. These scholars demonstrate the wide range of subject matter that is presented and considered within these art history lectures and the study of art history as a whole. Speakers present their research to the University of Guelph and the Guelph community during an evening event that celebrates their endeavors through a public talk. These lectures are some of the most anticipated events that the School of Fine Art and Music hosts, bringing attention to hundreds of students, faculty, and members of the University of Guelph community. Each lecture is free and open to the public, allowing anyone to engage with scholarly research and the field of art history.